Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing really well. Today we're going to go over a Miles Davis standard, and this is just part one of a multi-part series on how to play one of his famous standards off of his album, Walkin'. This Miles Davis song is a 12-measure song. It's not a 12-bar blues, but it is a 12-bar song, and we are going to go over it step by step. And the first thing we want to look at is not only the form, which is simple, it's 12 measures, but what are the chord changes and what are the keys or tonal centers that this tune goes through. And I've color-coded it here, and it's only in 4 keys. So we're going to simplify the beginning of this tune. In the 4 keys, we're going to play D minor, F major, G major, and E flat major. This color-coded page comes from my book, Playing the Changes. You can find it on my website at jefflewistrumpet.com. So let's take a look at the first chord. It's a D minor major 7 chord. Well, if you look at D minor major 7, what scale has a minor third and a major 7? Well, the first two come to mind is the melodic minor scale and the D harmonic minor scale. Now, I'm talking in trumpet key, so we're playing up a step from concert pitch. So, D minor major 7. The third is the F, the 7 is the C sharp. What we're going to do is use the D minor, we're going to use the D harmonic minor scale to improvise. Now, if you're not familiar with the D harmonic minor scale, it's going to be hard to speak in the language of jazz in this key. So remember, like any other language, jazz is a language, and you want to be able to speak fluently in it. So you're going to have to deal sooner or later with playing scales and patterns just so you can get familiar with speaking in whatever key you're in. So let's get familiar with this scale. Now what I have you do in the book is play 2 simple scale patterns. The first will have you playing the scale from the 1, the 3, and the 5. Now, as trumpet players, we're limited to how high we can play or how fast we can play, and that's okay. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to use the iReal Pro app to play along because it makes it fun. It's a really powerful app. You can do things like you can select certain sections of the tune and isolate that and practice that over and over. So here's the D harmonic minor scale. So now I'm going to isolate just those first 2 measures on the iReal Pro so you can hear what the scale pattern sounds like while you're hearing a virtual rhythm section play. So if you look at the scale pattern, you may have noticed that each scale is now starting on the root, which is D, the third, which is F, and the A, which is the 5. You can continue it up if you have a good range and you're playing up to high D and whatnot. Feel free to keep going up and keep going down. The other scale pattern I have for you to play is the scale which is played in thirds or every other note. And that pattern sounds like this. Now, as you get more comfortable with that one octave range, start to expand. As you know, the chords continue up in the middle and down as you see fit and as you're more comfortable to play higher and lower. So expand your range that way. Now, the reason we're going to play chords and get familiar with the chords is because you want to be familiar with target notes. And target notes are usually chord tones, particularly the thirds and the sevenths. We call these guide tones, so that your melodies are built around target notes such as those thirds and the sevenths, in this case, the F and the C sharp. So now let's try to add some scales as well as target notes into our improvisation. And now we're also just playing still in the very first chord, D minor major 7. And we're going to add the other tonal centers later. Okay, so we've played a couple scale patterns, we've played solos, practicing just playing chord tones. And now another good way to practice is in the book, I have a sheet that you can download, print, and just write out chord tone solos just so you can see what the chords are and also voice leading so that as you progress through the chord changes, my suggestion would be go to the next closest chord tone of the next key so that you're playing horizontally as opposed to vertically. There's nothing wrong with playing vertically, but this is a good way to navigate through chords. Okay, so that's going to be it for this short lesson because I want to just take the very first chord change. The next tutorial in the next video is going to be combining that chord with the following 2-5-1 in the key of G. I hope you enjoyed that. So let's go step by step with this until we have the entire tune.